my beautiful people, you are welcome back to my YouTube channel. I remain your girl, CE Concept, and I want to say a massive thank you to all my subscribers, my viewers all over the world. I say you are the best. Without you, there won't be this channel. And if you are here to join this family, it is free. It is free. You are free to join. Please support me, support your girl, and you will see the goodness of this channel. Okay. So today I want to show you how to draft a princess bustier in a simple method. And if you have been finding it difficult to calculate, to get the right measurement, the right shape, the right bustier pattern, this is the right place to be. So sit back and watch to the end. So the basic measurements I'll be working with are my shoulder line, as you can see, the chest line, the bust line, the under bust, and the waist, and the allowance below. As you can see, this is half cut of a blouse. It might be a peplum blouse, it might be a dress. Okay, so sit back, like I said, and enjoy with your popcorn. So as you can see, this is my shoulder line, this is my chest line, and this is the bust, the under bust, the half cuts, the waist, and this down part is the allowance. From the draft now, you can see I've slanted my shoulder by coming down by 1 inch, and my neck width is 4. I believe you can see me very well. This is 4. This is 4 inches. Okay, so the next thing we are going to do, because I told you this is the simplest method, you don't need to calculate. So remember, I told you how to get your armhole depth. How do you get it? I will say it again. Your bust circumference divide by 6 plus 1.5. Whatever you get, just impute it. So in this tutorial, mine is 7.5. So whatever you get, just add half an inch to it. So mine will be 8 inches. This is it. So that is my armhole depth from the slanted part to this chest line. You can see it's my armhole depth. So the next thing I'm going to do, I will divide it by 2. That gives me 4. As you can see, this is it, 4. 4. So 4 here. So I will now connect the 4 to the slanted parts. Okay, so from here I will take my bust span. Okay, bust span is from one nipple to the other. Okay, whatever you get, you input it. Mine is 7.5, and I'm going to add a half an inch to it. That gives me 4 as well. So I will put the 4 here, the 4 here, down to the waist line. Okay, then I will join the lines together like so. Okay, so from this edge, remember this is a fold. Let's assume this is my fabric, so I've folded it into 2. Okay, put your fabric on fold. That is the first rule. Okay, put your fabric on fold, and this is the front part. Okay, so the next thing we are going to do now is to determine how the bustier is going to take effect, and this comes between the under bust, the bust, and the under bust. Okay, down to the waistline, but the protrude part of it is starting from the under bust going towards the bust line. So this is it. Okay, so what I'm going to use is that, and how do you determine the inches you are to use? For example, if your bust is 32 to 38, you can use 2 inches. Okay, from 38 to 48, you can use 2.5. 48 upward, you can use 3 inches. That is it. Or better still, what you can do is you deduct the circumference of your bust from the circumference of your under bust. So whatever you get, you divide it by 2. Okay, So in my own case, I'll be imputing 2 inches. As you can see here, 2 inches, okay, from the bust, from the under bust. Okay, this is the under bust. I will just put 2 inches here. Then you take it down again, okay, from this line, okay, not from this edge, from this line, just impute 2. Let me do it this way, okay, 2 here, and you connect it together. And remember, this side is 2, the right side, okay, of this ball span. So from the left side, I will divide these 2 into 2. Half of 2 is 1. So half of these 2, I will impute it at the right side of the ball span. Okay, that gives us 1. So I'll put 1 here and then 1 here. Then I will connect. Then the next thing we are going to do now is to look at from the under bust, you come down by 1. Reason be that the bust will be able to sit properly, okay? The bust will be able to sit properly. You come down by 1, and from the bust line as well, you go up by 1. Whatever you come down with, always go up by same number, okay? So this is it. 1. So the next thing we are going to do now, you see this point, I'm going to join it to this point that I came down with, okay? So I will just use my free hand to do that. You can use your French curve as well, okay? The same thing at the left side, okay? That is done. So the next thing we are going to do, I will connect this one I came up with 1. I will connect it to this point here. As you can see from this shoulder, from this armhole point that I came down with. Remember, I divided my depth, my armhole depth, I divided by 2 and I added 1, which gave me 4. And this is the 4. From this slanted part to this part, that's 4. Then I'll connect it to this, like so. I don't know if you can see me very well. Connect it like this. You see the effect of the bust now. So that is it. I told you it's simple. So when you are done, you can just blend this place together, and always avoid sharp edge, okay? Always avoid it because it might affect your cutting as well. So you blend it together. So the next thing we are going to do is to impute our circumference. Our circumference is 36. Divide by 1/4 of it. If you don't know how to achieve your 1/4, the link to the video is on my description box. Go and watch it. You will get it because I speak pidgin English there. You will enjoy it, okay? So I'm going to impute the 1/4 of my bust. That gives us 9. So from the chest line, I will add half to it. That gives us a 9.5. That half makes the underarm ease, okay? Not too tight. You'll be able to raise your arm up or down, okay? So that is it, 9.5. And remember, whatever you get on your chest line without the half an inch, you impute it on your bust. They are almost the same, okay? Don't get confused. Your chest line and your bust, they are the same. So remember, the bust, the 1/4 of the bust is 9. So I will put it here, plus 1. Remember, we are going to join it together, plus 1 to join it, half an inch on both sides, making 1. That gives us a 10, okay? I will put it here. Remember, the chest line was 9.5 with the half an inch with ease. So I'm going to add 1 to it. That will give us 10.5. This is it. This is it. So it will be like this. Just slanting it like so. So we now come to the under bust now. As you can see here, the under bust, we took away 2 here and we took away 1 here, making 3. So the 1/4 of the under bust is 7.5 plus 3. That gives us 10.5. okay, 10.5, then plus 1 to join it, that gives us 11.5, okay. Then the waist, under the waist, the 1/4 of the waist is 30, the circumference of our waist is 32, divided by 4, that gives us 8. So 1/4 of my waist now will be 8, plus the 3 we took away from here, 8, that gives us 11, plus 1 we are going to join it with, that gives us 12. Input it here, okay. So you now connect all the lines together like so, okay, and like so. Don't mind me, I just use my hand. So the next thing we are going to do, you input your allowance. Remember, this is a draft, this is a pattern, so I will just add a 1 each all through. So remember to add your own allowance, always add much allowance, okay. So the next thing we are going to do again, I will impute my neck line, okay, my neck depth. Remember the neck width was 4, so I will just come down by 4.5, okay, 4.5, that's the neck depth. This it, and I will connect it like so, and I'll connect this point to this point. I believe you can see me clearly, like so. Let me do it this way. Okay, that is my neck depth. So at the shoulder line, I'm going to add a 1/2 inch to it, okay. The shoulder line, I mean, add 1/2 inch. This is it. Here and here. Always add all your allowance, okay. Then you connect. Then from this point, from this shoulder line, this 4 that I came down with, you're gonna extend it by 1/2 inch. Reason be that it will blend with the fabric, or it will blend with the measurement by the time you join it together, okay. So you go up by 1/2 inch, then you now connect it to this parts. Remember to go over your measurements again. Remember the chest line was 9. I added a 1/2 inch for his plus 1 for joining, that's 10.5. This is it. And the bust, the same thing, 9 plus 1 for joining, that's 10. This is it. We are correct. And at this point, the same thing, the under bust was 7.5 plus 3 that we took away, 2 from the right side and 1 from the left side. The same thing from the waist. Always go through your measurements, okay. So I'll connect now and get ready to cut it. Then I'll connect this to the armhole. We are done. You see, it's very, very simple. So the next thing we are going to do now is to blend this bust part together. As you can see, like this, you blend it. Just to have that curve effect. You can see it now. So for the edge, you just make sure avoid the sharp edge, okay. Avoid sharp edge. Now I will extend this line to my allowance. Then the next thing is to cut. Please do give me thumbs up, like this video, share it, subscribe if you have not done that. Like I told you, I will be bringing simple method, okay, to your way in this channel, and you will love it, you will like it, okay. So So let's cut now. I'm going to eliminate this part. This part you see here, we are going to cut it off. I'm going to cut off this part, okay? Cut it off. And this is how to do it. We cut from here. Cut. Because of the side seam. It's very simple, very simple. Okay. And the neck weave. Okay. So that's it. This is the front. This is the side. You can see the bust effect. You can see it. That's it. As you can see, I've placed the back. Okay, this is the shoulder, this is the chest line, this is the back, this is the waist, and this part is the allowance. So the only difference here is the under bust. We are not going to need that. Okay, now as you can see, this space between here from this folded edge to this line is the zip line. You may add it depends on your preference. You may add 1 inch, 1 inch, 2 inches. Okay, now remember, this is our neck width. At the front was 4, the same thing here, 4. This is it, 4. Okay, 4. And from the slanted one, that is from this point, I came down by 1 inch. Okay, that's it. So from there, then I came down by 4, because our armhole depth was 8. When I added half an inch to it, it was 7.5. Then I added half an inch, making it. Then you divide it by 2. That's it. That gives us 4. This is it. So this line here, from this part to this part, not from this folded edge, from this part, from this arrow, that's our bust span. Okay, that is the measurement of your bust from one nipple to the other. Okay, mine was 7, and I added 7 divided by 2. That gives us 3.5 plus half an inch, making 4. So that's the 4 here. Okay, that's the 4. You can see it here. So what we are going to do now, we are going to impute our basic darts. Okay, and that will be half an inch on both sides. At the right side, I will input a half an inch here. Here you can see me. So here at the left side, same. Then I will connect it to the chest line. Okay, like so. Then connect it. Okay, so you bring it down like so. Then the next thing we are going to do is to impute our body circumference. Okay, so remember our chest was 9 inches plus half an inch for his. That makes it 9.5. Remember, we are going to join this side together, so that makes it a 10.5. Okay, That's it. So at the bust area, it was 9. 1/4 of my bust is 9 inches plus 1 for joining it here. Okay, that's a 10. Okay, that's it. Then from the waist part, my waist circumference, 1/4 of my waist circumference is 8 inches. Remember, we are going to cut this one off and we are going to join it, making 1. That's 9. That's 9. Okay, we'll cut it out, then you replace it 9, then to join it, that's 10 here. Okay, so from this part now, we are going to connect this point you are seeing here. This point, I'm going to connect it with this armhole depth, like so. Okay, it's not hard. When I say simple, it's simple. So we are done with the back now, as you can see. So I'll connect all the mark area, then we'll do this. Then remember, at the front we went up by 1/2 inch. You can do same thing here, or you may leave it, because why is that? The bust, you know, the front has bust, but the back is always flat. Okay, let me just put it. You can put it just to save yourself from stress. You go up by 1/2 inch, then you connect it to the armhole. And before that, let me add my sewing allowance. I will just add 1 inch. Okay, here. Then I'll connect it like so, like so. That's our armhole. Then our depth, the neck depth now, I will just come down by 1/2 inch from the shoulder line. I'll come down by 3.5. Okay, so you connect it with the shoulder line and you connect it to the zip line. Okay, not to this edge, from this to this side. Then you curve it like so. Then now the last thing we are going to do, please don't forget to like this video, don't forget to share it, don't forget to subscribe. Please, you need to encourage me to do more. Okay, thank you. So from the zip line, to avoid bulge after fixing your zip, okay, because it looks funny sometimes when you put on a dress and there's a bulge at the back. Okay, so to do that now, we are going to eliminate the down parts. And before you do that, make sure you join your darts together before you eliminate. Okay, so from this waistline, as you can see, I'm going to go up by 1. It depends. You can go up by 1/2 inch. You can go up by 3/4. Okay, it's not compulsory you go up by 1. It's either you go up by 1/2 inch, 3/4, or 1 inch. But for me, I want to go up by 1 inch. So you will now connect it to the down parts. So this is it, like so. That's it, we are done. So the next thing is to cut it out. Okay, so we're going to eliminate this part. Remember, we have replaced it. We have replaced it. So always replace whatever you cut out. Always replace it, because it will affect the measurement of the blouse. Let's go over it again. So this place, from this place, from the waist, the 1/4 of my waist was 8. Then this is it, plus 1 that we are going to replace, 9, plus 1 for joining, 10. That's it. Correct. So you can now cut. Let's cut the down part first. The zip edge, cut it off like so. It's very simple. In fact, this method has been the best for me. Even my clients, when I make a cloth for them, they like it, the way it stands out. Okay, very simple. You don't need to calculate, you don't need to wrap your brain, especially if you are making a bustiers. And thank you for staying tuned. Thank you for watching this video to the end. I believe this video has been helpful. Like I said, don't forget to support me. Okay, without you, there won't be this channel. Okay, you are the best. So this is the neck. Okay. That's it. This is it. Thank you so much. I will see you on my next video. Thank you very much. Bye.